Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Think Constructive. I am Isha and I will be discussing IntelliJ and GitHub integration in this video. Yeah, so let's start with that. So here is a session plan for today. So number one, we will be creating GitHub repository that will be followed by GitHub integration with IntelliJ. That means GitHub configuration or login activities using IntelliJ. Then we will see cloning a GitHub base project into IntelliJ, conversion of that base project to Maven project, which will be followed by sampling of Java application. That means we will be doing some changes in that GitHub base project, which we will pull or clone here in our IntelliJ at our local machines. Then we will be creating a new branch for GitHub. We will be committing the changes using that new branch, and then finally we'll push those changes to GitHub, and we'll further check in the GitHub whether whatever changes we have done in our local machine using IntelliJ, finally they are pushed to the GitHub or not. So yeah, today we will be discussing all these topics. So before starting the GitHub repository creation, I'll quickly show you the prerequisites for this session. So as a prerequisite, you should have your GitHub account. But don't worry, just in case you haven't yet created or set up your GitHub account, I have already created a video for that. I have given my YouTube video link for GitHub account setup in the description box. So please go ahead, use that video and create your GitHub account. Second prerequisite is IntelliJ should be installed at your laptop or desktop, whatever machine you are using. So again, just in case if you haven't done that already, please go ahead, use another YouTube link which I have given in the description box, and download, install and set up IntelliJ at your system. And then last but not the least, you should have Java installed at your system, just in case, because we will be using Java project sampling for this. So just in case if you don't have Java at your system, I've given you Java download and installation link in the description box. So please make use of that and install, set up Java at your system. So once you are done with all these three prerequisites, we'll proceed with this video, wherein we will be creating GitHub repository as a number one step, and then we will be configuring IntelliJ for GitHub login and all further GitHub activities. Okay, so yeah, let us start with the demonstration for that. So I'll just open my GitHub repository first. Sorry, my GitHub page wherein I will be creating GitHub repository just now with you. Yeah, and if you have already done with the prerequisite steps, so please follow the tutorial with me. That means you open your GitHub page, IntelliJ and all that stuff, so that you can do that practical thing with me and learn more in detail, not just by listening. Try to follow the practical along with me. So here is the GitHub page in which I have already logged in. You can log in and check your profile from here. All right, on the right hand side, that small thumbnail, you can just click on this and see all the options here. So you can go to your repository. I've created one repository. So for this demonstration, I'll be creating a new repository for you, and then I will be pulling that repository, or I will be cloning that repository to my IntelliJ. All right, so I'll just click on new. It will give me this option. Owner will remain the user who has logged in. So in my case, it is Think Constructive. I will be giving a repository name. Let's say I will write Java demo project. Okay. So since this name is available for this owner, so it's all green. Let's say I will use any name which is already used by this owner. So I will be requested to change that. All right. I can give the description here, but that is completely optional. I'm giving that to have more clarity. So let's say I will write this. Okay. I can mark the visibility as public or private, whichever I would like. So let's say I'll just proceed with public. Initialize the repository with add a readme file. So it is always a good step to do that at the time of creation of the repository itself. And then further you can write more details related to your project, how the project can be built, executed, and all those kind of steps which any application user should know. Then I will select add git ignore file. So what this git ignore template will do, or rather this git ignore file will do, whichever type of template I would select, or if I want to ignore any files for pushing into GitHub repository. So by using git ignore file, I can mention that and those will be taken care. So let's say since I'm creating a Java demo project, so I will just use git ignore template as Java. I'll choose this. No need to create any license and all. That is mainly used for kind of enterprise projects or more commercial projects. So I'm skipping this for now. I'll just go ahead with these two options selected, keeping my repository for now as public. If you don't want to expose your repository publicly, you can choose private also. That is perfectly fine. It's up to you. What do you want to do? Okay, so I'll just go ahead and say create repository. So see, my repository is created and my default branch or the master branch is given as a main. Okay, so now my repository is created. I can clone this repository. Okay, so I'll just click on this code green button here and I will get the URL here, which I can simply copy using this button, and I have copied my repository URL which I can use to clone this at IntelliJ or anywhere wherever I want to clone this project. So in our case, in this video, I will be using this URL to clone this repository in the IntelliJ. Okay. So this is about the repository creation. Now I will switch to the IntelliJ and will show you how you can copy this repository. Okay. So I'll just open IntelliJ. So here is the IntelliJ, and since I want to now integrate IntelliJ with GitHub, I will click on Get from VCS. Okay, so you can see my version control, since I'm anyways using Git, is by default selected. Other two version controls are also given. So let Git remain selected. But what am I seeing here? It is telling me here in the left window, GitHub no accounts. That means I will have to, because the moment I will give the URL here, it will ask me to log in. So what I will do, I will have to add my GitHub account here first. So I'll click on GitHub and it is giving me two options, login via GitHub or using token. Okay, so I will, for now I will say, let's say login via GitHub. It is taking me to the JetBrains side. Why? Because IntelliJ is a product of JetBrains only. And here it is asking me, please continue if it is open from this. That is a caution message. And it is asking me to authorize in GitHub. I'll just click on this. It is taking me to the authorization page. And now it is successfully authorized. In my case, my login is already there. So it did not ask. Otherwise, if you have not already logged in from the browser window, it will ask you to log in and then it will authorize. All right. So now the moment I come back to IntelliJ, what I will see, my account Think Constructive is now available, and now I have got two repositories. Both are displayed here. Okay. So since I have created Java demo project repository for the demonstration purpose, I will proceed with this. So there are two ways to proceed. I can either click on this and proceed, or I can just go to repository URL and paste the link which I had copied from the browser. Okay. So I'll just show you again from where I'm asking you to copy the repository URL, because that is another very useful mechanism to clone your project or repository. So I will just open my repository from the GitHub, click on the code green button, and then here I will see the URL which I will copy. Okay. Now I'll go back to IntelliJ and paste the URL here. So I can choose any other method by just copying and pasting the URL, or I can select my repository directly from the GitHub window. I proceed with the clone because that is the next step. So I will now clone this repository so that I will get the freshly newly created repository integrated with IntelliJ. I'll just say clone. It has started cloning and loading my project here in the IntelliJ. Okay, so you can see now Java demo project repository is here. Okay, and it has got two files. One is gitignore, another one is readme. These two we had created there. So this is the direct Java template which we have used, and another one is the readme.md. Okay, so both the files are here now. Now our next step is to create a sampling application once the cloning is done. So we have covered three steps. We created GitHub repository, then we logged in using IntelliJ to GitHub. So now both are integrated, and then we have cloned our freshly newly created repository to IntelliJ. So this is the one. Now the next step, we will do some changes to this project, and then we will commit and push those changes back to GitHub, and we will go back and check GitHub whether those changes are available there or not. Okay. So now I will start doing changes to this. This is what we are calling, we'll convert this project to the Maven project and then do some sampling. Okay. So how do we convert a basic project to the Maven one? So for converting this project into Maven 1, I will just right click on this and I will say add framework support. So the moment I say add framework support, so default available frameworks with IntelliJ are displayed here. I can make it Groovy project or Kotlin project or Maven. So in our case, we will be proceeding with the Maven project. So I'll just select it and then say OK. So now my project is converted into Maven project, and a new file pom.xml is added, and it is asking me by default, since it is a Git project, whether you want to add this file to the Git or you want to do it later. I can do it later also, or when I'm sure that I really want this file to go to my version control Git, I will just say add. So in my case, I will say add because I want this pom.xml to stay in GitHub. All right. And then it is asking some, safety things like whether I want to trust it. Yes, I want to trust my Maven project, and done. So this is a default pom.xml file is created, wherein you can see the group ID, artifact ID, and version IDs are given. So now this project is converted to Maven project. And you can notice that we have got a source main Java directory structure also. This is the standard directory structure which we follow for the Java applications. Okay. So I will just go to Java quickly and create my Java class here. Again, it is asking whether you want to add this file to the Git repo. Yes, definitely I want to add my sample application main file to Git. I will say add. Now it is just giving me a warning. You can notice project JDK is not defined, which is something which is very important. Since I am creating a Java project using IntelliJ, my Java JDK must be defined. So I will just go ahead and say setup SDK. I can do it from here, or I will show you another way. I can just go to file, say project structure, and by default project tab is selected, and you can see it is saying no SDK. So from here itself I can say which JDK I want to select. So for now I'm selecting Java 14. If you want to add any other JDK, you can go ahead and do that. I will say Java 14. The project language level should also match with this. Otherwise, we will get, some kind of intermittent, unexpected kind of issues later. So I'll say project SDK should be 14 and language level should also match with it, which is 14. And platform SDK, I will cross check whether it is 14. Yes, it is set as 14 here. So I'll go ahead and say OK. So you can now notice that warning is gone and the application is taken as a Java application. So here is a sample Java application, a plain simple hello world Java application I have created. And also in the pom.xml, I have included the Java version. With the help of this properties tag, you can notice I have given Maven compiler source and Maven compiler target as Java 14 since I am using JDK 14 in my demonstration. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and execute my application just to check whether everything is perfectly fine. So you can notice hello world Java is printed here. Okay, so I have created a successful simple hello world Java application. Now what do? I will just show you from where you can check the current branch and you can create a new one to push your changes to the GitHub repository. Okay, so here in the IntelliJ bottom right, you can see Git branch is set as main. Okay, that means the default master branch of the Git is selected currently, and it is never a good idea to push your changes directly into the master branch. Why? Because just to be very careful that if any problem arises, then in that case, the entire master, the core code will be corrupted. So just as a precautionary measure, we create a separate branch, push our changes, review them there in the GitHub, and then go ahead and merge the changes with the GitHub. So for now, for this tutorial, I will just tell you how will you create a new branch and push your changes there. Okay, so I'll just click on this project, right click on this project, and we'll see Git. You can see Git here. So Git as a version control is already set for this project. I will just go to the branches, new branch option. I'll say new branch. Let's say I want to create my demo. Okay. So I'll just say demo branch, create. So I'm getting a message, checked out demo branch from head. And now you can notice here, Git branches now switched to demo branch. So a new branch called as demo is created and set for this project. Now the next step for giving those changes or putting those changes in the GitHub, the next step, I will again go to Git and say commit. Okay. So I will say commit directory. It is showing me two files which we have changed, pom.xml and sample Java application, and it is asking me to put a commit message. So first change for demo project. Let's say I write this. Any commit message, the message which is, explanatory enough to tell you, to tell the audience about the changes, whatever you are committing or pushing with the help of this branch should be written here. So I will write first change for demo project and will say commit. If everything is fine, I will get a commit success. In my case, it is just giving one warning. It is a ignorable warning. I click on this warning and will see style array declaration of parameter args as it is completely ignorable. So I will just say commit anyway. And I am getting now a success green message, 2 files committed, and the explanation what I have given. Okay. Now, once I have created a commit, what I will do? I will go back to my project window. Here, I will right click. My next step is to push the changes. After commit, I will have to push. So I will just click on get and will say push. Okay. So if push will be successful, then my changes will reach to GitHub. So I will click on push. Here is my commit message. Here are the 2 files which I have committed. If I want, I can just double click on these files here and verify. This I want to push, fine. And another file, this also I want to push, correct? So these 2 files are there with my commit message. So I find them perfect. So I will go ahead and say push. Another option is force push, which, refrain from use. Don't use that unless it is, admin kind of activities. So I'll just go ahead and say push, pushing, and now push demo branch to new branch this. Okay. So once I get this kind of success message, that means the changes what I wanted to place in the GitHub are now gone to GitHub. I mean, reach to GitHub. All right. So I'll just open my GitHub browser page and will verify whether it has reached there or not. Okay, so you can clearly see demo branch had recent pushes less than a minute ago. That means demo branch is a new branch which has now reached to GitHub, and I can simply click here also and see my branches by saying view all branches. So now I'm seeing demo branch updated. I can just click on this branch and can see my commit message, first change for demo project, form.xml. This is the one which we wanted to push, right? I'll just go back and then source main Java, I mean src main Java. I'll go inside this, and this is my second file, sample Java application. All right, this is what we wanted to push, correct? So yeah, so I will just come out from this to Java demo project, and now my GitHub is having 2 branches, main and demo branch. So with the help of demo branch, I can see the updated code. Okay. So yeah, so that's all about today's session. There are next steps also for which are more related to GitHub. So that will be covered in a separate GitHub tutorial, which I will be creating a separate video. Yeah, so for today's session for IntelliJ and GitHub integration, so that's about it. Thank you everyone for watching it. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and share it with more and more people.